that shouldn't really make a difference.
Out of all the new food you've tried, what's your favourite?
Well, there's a waffle machine in the place that we stay. Yeah. So every morning we have like a blueberry or just a original waffle with like maple syrup. So they're pretty good.
A macaroni and cheese as well.
Yeah, I made it for Judy.
It was my first experience on it. Lucky Charms cereal.
Big box of Lucky Charms.
America and Northern Ireland are very different. Could you explain some of the differences between the two countries?
Indian boys, they're a lot more, that sounds really silly, but they're a lot more confident, like, and at home the boys seem to be a lot more shyer and stuff, but here in America they would talk to you more as well, and but it's not just the boys, that sounds really silly.
And they're also very enthusiastic, which I like, because at home we're all so uncomfortable about awkward situations where they're like throwing themselves in and just getting on with it, which I would want to happen more at home.
Like when we went to church, it was like in the movies, people were standing up and shouting things out, and it was really good to see how passionate they were and how they got involved. And like it's not like that at home. They would be a lot more quiet and just listen in church instead of like interacting. Yeah.
Do you think it is important for people to know the difference between here and America, and why?
The difference between here and America and Northern Ireland would be...
Well, there's a lot of similarities, really, more than different. It's very different, but very the same. Like we have the divide of Catholics and Protestants. It's more like the skin. So in ways it's different, and in ways it's quite similar. It's a lot busier here as well, so and people would have a lot of like drinks to do, with driving around, and places where you fast food, quite especially over here,
and the bigger portion sizes.
Everything's big.
And finally, could you explain to us what MLK Day is actually about?
Well, like Chloe said earlier, it's it's a national holiday, and people give up their holiday to have a day on, not a day off. And so they would go out and like help throughout the community just to give back. So we were in a school called Downey School, and people were painting the walls so that the kids could have a new, like, bright corridors and stuff to make them feel like they'd want to come to school more. And it was just so nice to see people giving back to the community, and that's what MLK Day is really about.
Do you think pupils in our schools should know about MLK Day, and why?
I definitely think that they should know, because before I'd done my obituary in history about Martin Luther King, I had no idea. I knew he was here, but I didn't know much about him. But through this trip, you've learned so much more about him. And I think he's a person that everyone really does need to know about, because he really has impacted the lives of so many people. Because you really do notice that over here, like he's made sure he's helping that people get equal and equal. The kids that live here like would know about him obviously, but it's nice to hear their opinions on them, because we were at a school today called SciTech, and they were saying how they had felt about him, and they were surprised that at home not many people do know about him. Do know about him.
He's a true inspiration to some people over here, and they talk so highly of him. So I really do think that people over in Northern Ireland should know more about his legacy and about MLK Day itself, and maybe we could do something or get involved for the MLK Day at home as well.
Thank you, Rebecca, Jody and Chloe, for that.
On to the next video. Hi, and welcome to Lurgan Junior High School. Everybody's in class, so come on in and I'll show you around.
This is one of the specialist rooms. I wouldn't want to miss TD. This is where we use of our own models and create our own designs, like this. Our school has its own TV studio. We can film here and put out live programs. I haven't forgotten about RE. This is where we learn our values and our beliefs. Welcome to Home Economics. This is where you learn life skills about your home and also about family life. It's also about eating disorders, how to keep a clean kitchen and cooking. Off we go to music. Come on. Art. These are all very important subjects to learn in junior high school. I personally love them all. In music, you compose, in drama, you express, and in art, you create. Here is one of our English classes. They are working on developing their communication skills. As you can see, English is always very active. Here we are in the science lab. We learn about animals, plants, the universe, and the human body. I love it whenever we do experiments. Maths is needed in everyday life. Our teachers try to make maths real. For example, ordering a pizza, knowing what size to get, and knowing how many people it will serve. There are lots of different activities in a modern language classroom. Our teachers help boosting our confidence and making it really interesting. It's exciting finding out about the weather, our own country and other places in geography. Our teachers make it very interesting. History is all about finding out the answers to the big questions about our past and how it affects the present and future. Most of the people I know love PE because of the great facilities such as the pitches. I love my school and it has given me unlimited opportunities and to show how to give respect to others, respect to myself and responsibility. I hope that you can see what is on offer for your child.
Hello, I'm Nathan.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Now we can watch a video about European Day of Languages.
If I were an Englishman, hello is what I'd say. Hello, 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 hello. Hello is what I'd say. Good day. If I were from France, bonjour is what I'd say. Bonjour, 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 bonjour is what I'd say. If I was from Holland, goedendag is what I'd say. Goedendag, 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 goedendag is what I'd say. If I were from Spain, hola is what I'd say. Hola, 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 hola. Hola is what I'd say. If I were from Ukraine, privyet is what I'd say. Privyet, 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 privyet. Privyet is what I'd say. If I were from Greece, yasas is what I'd say. Yasas, 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 yasas. Yasas is what I'd say. If I were from Lithuania, labas is what I say. Labas, 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 labas is what I say. If I were from Pakistan, salam is what I say. Salam, 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 salam. Salam is what I say. If I was from Germany, guten Tag is what I say. Guten Tag, guten Tag, guten Tag, guten Tag, guten Tag is what I say.
If I were from Poland, cześć is what I'd say. Cześć, 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 cześć is what I'd say.
from Latvia, Sveiki's what I'd say. Sveiki, 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 sveiki. Sveiki's what I'd say.
If I were an Englishman, hello is what I'd say. Hello, 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 hello. Hello is what I'd say.
We now have some pupils here to interview.
Welcome, Jessica and Louise. What do you like so far about Lurgan Junior High School and why?
Art, because it is really fun and it's really, really colourful.
I like the cookery bit because I like cooking and stuff.
What do you think of the studio?
It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's cool and
it's the first time I've actually seen it.
Would you like to work here whenever you come?
Definitely.
What would you like to do most behind the scenes, like the camera, or presenters like me and Megan?
Presenting, yeah.
Presenters in front of the camera?
Yeah.
It's been wonderful having you here, but before you go, what after-school activities would interest you most?
Football. I would like to go to football, and I would like to go to the hockey and stuff, and the volleyball.
Yeah, I like hockey and football.
Okay, thank you.
It's been nice talking to you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Now we're going to interview Miss Hannah after the video.
Hallo, ich heiße Charlotte.
Guten Tag, ich heiße Nathan.
Ich bin 14 Jahre alt.
Ich bin 13 Jahre alt.
Ich wohne in Donaghcloney.
Ich wohne in Lurgan.
Ich habe eine Schwester, die Sophie heißt.
Ich habe eine Schwester, die Keelan heißt.
Ich bin musikalisch und sportlich.
Ich bin freundlich und fleißig.
Ich habe einen Hund und ein Pferd.
Ich habe einen Hund und eine Katze.
Well, now we have Miss Hannah here to interview. Miss Hannah, what things can parents and pupils look forward to seeing in the RE department this evening?
Well, it's very exciting in the RE department tonight. We've got a load of things going on. Most popular at the moment is writing your name in Egyptian hieroglyphics. That's quite exciting. Also, we've got identity cards where you put your thumbprint on. That's quite popular. But I think by far the most popular thing is the food tasting. We've got a Seder table, which is the Passover table set up, and then beside that we've got little samples of all of the foods, and everyone's having a go at that. They seem to be enjoying it.
Miss Hannah, from research we know that you're a past pupil from Lurgan Junior High School.
Yeah.
How has school changed since you were there?
It's changed quite a bit. It's not that long ago from I was here, but it has changed in that when I was here it was a girls' school and then the boys' school was next door. Now everyone's mixed together. But the biggest change of all is just all of the technology there is now. I mean, even the TV studio, all the interactive whiteboards, everything we can do with PowerPoints and Movie Maker, and it's just so exciting now. It wasn't like that when I was here. You just had a slate and a piece of chalk.
And finally, this is an evening for prospect pupils to see around our school. Why would you encourage them to come to Lurgan Junior High School?
I would encourage them to come to Lurgan Junior High because it's such a brilliant school, according to Blue Peter, one of the best schools in Britain. But I just think it's a great place to be. There's such a great atmosphere. Everyone is treated with respect, including the teachers and the pupils. And everybody just has a great time learning, and also with the extracurricular activities. There's so much going on every day, and I hardly know of anyone who comes to Lurgan Junior High that doesn't love it. I think you'd agree, Megan, wouldn't you?
I agree, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
Thanks. And I will have another video.
What would it be if you call it to his face? If you were faced with him with all his glory, what would like heaven and Jesus and the saints and all the prophets in here. Yeah, God is good. Yeah, yeah, God is great. Yeah, 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 yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a song like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus trying to make this way home. God help me. What would it be and you call it to his face? If you were faced with him and all his glory, what would you ask if you had just one question?
This next piece is top secret. I can't reveal to you where we are, but what you're about to see is truly amazing. We're going to see badgers being hand-fed. Let's come and see them. Here's our first sighting of the badgers. It has taken this gentleman years to win the confidence of these animals. He feeds them every evening.
Now I am joined by Mrs. Kerr to talk to her about pastoral care. Firstly, Mrs. Kerr, what is pastoral care?
Well, pastoral care in a school setting, it's really about looking after the whole pupil, not just about making sure they get through lots and lots and lots of learning, which obviously is important, but it's also to make sure that they're happy in the school environment, they feel secure, they enjoy the experience, and that we cater for all their needs, okay, not just their learning needs.
Do you think pastoral care is important as well as the academic side of school?
I think pastoral care is really as important as the academic side, because if people are not happy or secure or enjoying their experience in school, they don't tend to achieve their potential academically. So we've got to look out for their pastoral care.
Yes, and how does that work in Lurgan Junior High School?
Oh, I think we do our very best to make it work very well in Lurgan Junior High School. It's a very important part of our life here, and I think really from a pupils, it's set with our pupils. We have peer mentors who look out for our pupils, our year 10s, and pupils can go and talk to them. But every pupil obviously has a form teacher who becomes really like their parent in school, if you like, and they look out, they get to know that their pupils really the best, and so they can sense if something's up. And generally the pupils feel that they can go and talk to their form teacher. We also would have year heads, which is very much a pastoral care role as well, and they will look out for the well-being of all the boys or all the girls in a year group, and they are there to have a listening ear, maybe to help take things a bit further, to get in other agencies if that's required, and to do that. And then of course we have our VPs and our principal at the minute, Mrs. Curry, and we are very much aware that every pupil needs to be looked out for. And many days my door opens and someone say, "Miss, can I have a wee word with you please?" And you know that it's not generally about something academic, or it's something that's maybe impacting on their academic because they maybe feel worried about something or something's happened to them and they just want to talk it through, and that's very important to us here in the junior high.
So overall, teachers and peer mentors have to look out for the child and make sure they're happy?
Very much so, yes. We have to look out for you all. Yes, you're all very important. No one is more important than the other in school. Everyone is special, and we like to make the most of their time in the junior high by looking after the whole person.
Good. Well, thank you for coming down to talk to us, Mrs. Kerr.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now we're going to watch another video.
Here's our first sighting of the badgers. It has taken this gentleman years to win the think you should try this at home.
Now there's some breaking news in. We can go over to Megan.
Newsflash. There's been a murder in Lurgan Junior High School tonight. We need your help to find the murderer. Earlier this evening, during a reunion, English teacher Miss Pratchett was found dead in English Room 1. She's been hit over the head. Around the body were a number of items that may lead you to the killer. A book written by an ex-student, Brian Reid, an address for the Daily Telegraph newspaper, and also a handkerchief with the initials MM. At the moment there are two main suspects, but you will need to question everyone who was at the party and saw or spoke to Miss Pratchett. Go into the foyer or the English room, you will find an investigation leaflet, and make sure to have a look out at the crime scene in the English department. You will find suspects all over the school this evening. Make sure you leave your answers in the box. You might win a prize if you work it out.
Well, it would be really greatly appreciated if you could help in the search. Now we're going to watch another video.
I've been very keen to do a charity event or various events for some time. The two boys here, stand up to Matthews, were the organisers of this event. I really took very, very little to do with it. They were very keen to have this event, and Mr. McCool has already mentioned to me about how well it was all organised and the great enthusiasm all the teams put in. So I think, mutedly, but a wee round of applause to people. There's only 5 boys in my form class, and they decided at their charity event that they would raise money to sponsor a child in Africa. They already had £63 or £4 gathered up, and they needed to raise £100 today to make the target of 160 to make that possible. Now, I'm glad to say we have raised that, so they now have enough funds to sponsor a child in Africa, which will take someone out of very miserable existence in Nairobi or something like that, and give them a decent life and a decent home. So it's a very worthwhile cause. Big thank you to the PE department who put a big effort into this. Without them, we couldn't do this. A big hand to the PE. also said that to present this prestigious award, only rivaled by the likes of the FA Cup and the European Cup and whatever, only rivaled by those that we have a special guest, a person who had played quite a number of years in Irish League and top player for Glenavon, and was there for a number of years, still very involved in sport. In fact, this particular gentleman has 2 sons that are both PE teachers, so a very distinguished career with Glenavon. And I would like to ask our technician, Mr. David Cousins, to come forward. There's the man himself. Thank you.
Now in the studio with Mr. Guy, one of our PE teachers. Firstly, how important is PE for pupils' health?
Before I answer that, can I just say that Mr. Adley is actually the best dressed teacher here this evening. Sorry, what was that question again? Went off track already.
How important is PE for pupils' health?
For people's health? Okay, well I would say PE is the most important subject in the school.
In school, if you like, and they look out, they get to know that their pupils really the best, and so they can sense if something's up, and generally the pupils feel that they can go and talk to their form teacher. We also would have year heads, which is very much a pastoral care role as well, and they will look out for the well-being of all the boys or all the girls in a year group. And they are there to have a listening ear, maybe to help take things a bit further, to get in other agencies if that's required, to do that. And then of course we have our VPs and our principal at the minute, Mrs. Curry, and we are very much aware that every pupil needs to be looked out for. And many days my door opens and someone say, "Miss, can I have a wee word with you please?" And you know that it's not generally about something academic, or it's something that's maybe impacting on their academic because they maybe feel worried about something or something's happened to them and they just want to talk it through, and that's very important to us here in the junior high.
So overall, teachers and peer mentors have to look out for the child and make sure they're happy?
Very much so, yes. We have to look out for you all. Yes, you're all very important. No one is more important than the other in school. Everyone is special, and we like to make the most of their time in the junior high by looking after the whole person.
Good. Well, thank you for coming down to talk to us, Mrs. Kerr.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now we're going to watch another video.
Here's our first sighting of the badgers. It has taken this gentleman years to win the confidence of these animals. He feeds them every evening.
Now there's some breaking news in. We can go over to Megan.
Newsflash. There's been a murder in Lurgan Junior High School tonight. We need your help to find the murderer. Earlier this evening, during a reunion, English teacher Miss Pratchett was found dead in English Room 1. She's been hit over the head. Around the body were a number of items that may lead you to the killer. A book written by an ex-student, Brian Reid, an address for the Daily Telegraph newspaper, and also a handkerchief with the initials MM. At the moment there are 2 main suspects, but you will need to question everyone who was at the party and saw or spoke to Miss Pratchett. Go into the foyer or the English room, you will find an investigation leaflet, and make sure to have a look out at the crime scene in the English department. You will find suspects all over the school this evening. Make sure you leave your answers in the box. You might win a prize if you work it out.
Well, it would be really greatly appreciated if you could help in the search. Now we're going to watch another video.
I've been very keen to do a charity event or various events for some time, and the 2 boys here, stand up, 2 Matthews, were the organisers of this event. I really took very, very little to do with it, and they were very keen to have this event, and Mr McCool has already mentioned to me about how well it was all organised and the great enthusiasm all the teams put in. So I think, mutedly, but a wee round of applause to 2 boys. There's only 5 boys in my form class, and they decided at their charity event that they would raise money to sponsor a child in Africa. And they already had 63 or 4 pounds gathered up, and they needed to raise £100 today to make the target of 160 to make that possible. Now, I'm glad to say we have raised that, so they now have enough funds to sponsor a child in Africa, which will take someone out of very miserable existence in Nairobi or something like that, and give them a decent life and a decent home. So it's a very worthwhile cause. Big thank you to the PE department who put a big effort into this. Without them we couldn't do this. A big hand to the PE. I also said that to present this prestigious award, only rivaled by the likes of the FA Cup and the European Cup and whatever, only rivaled by those that we have a special guest, a person who had played quite a number of years in Irish League, and top player for Glenavon, and was there for a number of years, still very involved in sport. In fact, this particular gentleman has 2 sons that are both PE teachers, so a very distinguished career with Glenavon. And I would like to ask our technician, David Cousins, to come forward. There's the man himself.
now in the studio with Mr. Guy, one of our PE teachers. Firstly, how important is PE for pupils' health?
Before I answer that, can I just say that Mr. Adley is actually the best dressed teacher here this evening. Sorry, what was that question again? I've went off track already.
How important is PE for pupils' health?
For people's health? Okay, well I would say PE is the most important subject in the school. I'm sure there'll be a few English teachers that mightn't agree with me on that one, but definitely if you don't have your health, well then you're going to struggle in the rest of your subjects. In PE at the moment we're doing health related PE, and we're teaching pupils about their bodies and about exercise and about staying fit and healthy for life, and I would say that it's extremely important and I think there should be more of it.
Next question, what sort of jobs need PE as a subject?
Well, I think any job really that involves teamwork. So, for example, some of the security forces and the army, obviously fitness coaches and sports coaches and PE teachers as well. There's many more.
And finally, what extracurricular activities are there to do with PE?
Well, in Lurgan Junior High School, the boys' winter programme mainly consists of football and rugby and cross country also. Summer programme would have a little bit of tennis, mainly cricket and athletics. The girls' department, is Mrs. Dugan doing an interview after? Is she?
Yes.
Possibly?
Yeah.
You just ask questions, you don't answer them?
Yes.
No? Okay. Yeah. Okay, well anyway, the girls' department then would have a lot of hockey and netball in the winter and tennis and athletics in the summer as well. So there's quite a broad range of activities in Lurgan Junior High. Okay.
Thank you for coming down to speak to us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Now Mr. Adley will be interviewed.
You got it now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not in school? Oh dear.
So, Mr. Adley, what sort of things do we getting up to in history?
Do you mean topics or in what way? What do you mean?
Topics and trips.
Topics and trips. Well, when you're a year 8 pupil, you'll be learning all about the Normans, the Norman invasion of England, how they then invaded Ireland and the impact that they've left on us. In year 9 we look at the Reformation, and we also then look at the plantation of Ulster, and again look at the impact that's left on our lives today. And in year 10 is like 20th century history, so we'll be learning about world wars and how much changes the 20th century brought around.
Mr. Adley, you look well on that screen up there. So you do,
Mr. Adley, I'm sure all the trips and the whole time in Lurgan Junior High School are all interesting, but which one for you would be a favourite if you were here?
A favourite trip for me probably would be the year 8 trip down to Carrickfergus Castle. We go to the Ulster Museum in the morning, then we go to McDonald's for a bite to eat, which the pupils seem to enjoy, and then we go down into the castle for a tour of the castle. The reason I think it's the most enjoyable trip is because it's the first trip that our new year 8 history students go on, so it kind of installs some enthusiasm in them from year 8 really. And also I live in Carrickfergus, so it's good to go home at times,
Do you think history is a very important subject in school?
Yes, I do. Like Mr. Guy, I'd probably say history is the most important subject. But really, if you don't have an understanding of your history, then you're not going to really know much about your town you live in, your family history, and then that will prevent you moving forward. So if you don't have an eye in the past, then you'll not be able to move forward that well, especially in our country with there's been so much division and conflict. And our year 10 history allows us to understand, especially even year 9 with our plantation stuff, about the history of our country and where we've come from and why we are the way we are today.
What sort of jobs need history as a subject?
Obviously, first of all, history teacher, you might want to be studying history, but there's many jobs, I'm just thinking of a lawyer, for example, using all the evidence to either convict people or get people off crimes, maybe. You have other jobs, even if jobs working in a bank or any administration type job where you're having to manage information on a regular basis. So any job really, there's lots of skills that we teach in history that can be carried across a range of careers.
Thank you.
Now it's time for another video.
You're a big giver, you are.
Hi, it's us again. In this part of the show, we will be interviewing one of our own first-year pupils to give his point of view of settling into the school.
But to begin, we have a parent who is here with us to visit our school.
Let's see what he has to say.
What would you like your child to achieve in LJHS?
Well, so much, isn't there, that you want whenever you're coming here as a parent. You're really having a look for the whole feel of the place. Obviously, you're wanting your child to reach their potential as far as education is concerned. So you're looking for them to have a good exposure to everything that they're going to be taught in that sort of way. But it's definitely more than that. It's about the whole atmosphere of the school. It's about the pastoral care. I think so many young folk are coming in with so many options before them, and so you're really wanting them to get a little taste of all the possibilities that there are out there, so that they're able to make good decisions about the future. So it's all of those things. It's about the education, it's about the ethos, and about the opportunities, I think.
What kind of teachers do you expect to be teaching your child?
Well, I think that as I look back to my time in school a long time ago, sometimes the relationship with a teacher, the sort of whether we really got on well with a subject, was more dependent upon the character and the interest and commitment of the teacher than about sometimes the subject material itself. So I would hope that there would be teachers who'd be really committed to their subject, who would just be good to get along with, would be able to communicate some of their enthusiasm for their subject to the pupils, and I think that sort of, once you've got that sort of relationship building up, then that's the best context for education to happen within.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, none of our TD teachers could make it here for an interview.
So instead, we are going to show a video made by our TD department.
This is tutorial 3 on how to design the paint tin opener using SolidWorks. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at completing a solid outline, how to measure the distance between 2 points, how to extrude an object into 3 dimensions, and how to view this object in our computer screen. We're going to begin by opening the work from tutorial 2. So we go up to SolidWorks File, Open, navigate to where you saved the last piece of work, and you should be able to open the view as seen. As we progress in this drawing, it becomes difficult to see areas that we want to work on. One way is to magnify parts of the screen. We do this by putting the pointer over the area we need to magnify and moving the wheel on your mouse. That will enlarge or decrease the area that you need to see. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw in the lines that will complete the outline of our pastry cutter shape. I'm going to use the line tool to draw in those remaining lines. Select the line tool, bring it onto the end of the 20mm point. We get our orange circle. Click once, move down about 3mm using the dashed lines to keep us going parallel and horizontal and vertical.
Here with us now is Harry, one of our Year 8 pupils.
Harry, could you explain how Lurgan Junior High helped you to settle in school?
Well, Lurgan Junior High is very welcoming to every pupil and really gives them confidence, and the teachers are very helpful, so it's very easy to settle in.
I hear you're involved in the school production this year. Harry, could you tell us a bit about your role?
Well, I am Bundles in the school production Annie, and Bundles is a laundryman, and he basically fancies Miss Hannigan, and he comes into the orphanage and he's talking to Miss Hannigan, but by accident Annie slips into his laundry bag and he takes her away.
To finish off, could you tell us what your favourite subject is and why?
My favourite subject is probably geography. As geography, you get to really get a point out about the world, and you get to learn everything that's really going to happen and how it's going to happen.
Thank you, Harry.
After this next video, we will be interviewing Mr. Guy about LLW, Learning for Life and Work.
Hello, ich heiße
So Rebecca, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to the Copeland Islands.
Wait, where's the Copeland Islands?
I'll show you on the computer. Over here is Belfast, and if you come along, here's Bangor. And just if you go round the coast, you see Donaghadee, and then just a mile off Donaghadee, we'll have Copeland Islands.
So where's your house?
It's right here.
Oh, I'd like to go there.
Would you really like to go?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
We'll take you over.
Watch out there just in case you come across any bones and stuff there. Every now and then the rabbits would dig them up, so you have to push them back down in again.
Oh, seriously?
Cover them over again, you know. But this is the only graveyard on the Copelands. So
there's about 30 people buried here.
And recent years.
What does technology and design involve?
It involves working with a range of materials, wood, metal and plastics to make various artefacts. Electronics is a very significant part of it as well, right through from first year to third year. We do modules on pneumatics and quite a significant amount of graphics as well, so it involves a whole range of different things that all form together to make the subject you'd call technology and design.
How many staff work in the TD department?
Well, we have 3 teachers. I would be full-time TD, and my 2 colleagues, Mr. Black, he would have LLW and citizenship as well, and Mr. Irvine, he teaches some science classes, but most of his time would be in TD. We also have Mr. Cousins, our technician, who is a great asset to the technology department. We couldn't run without him. He's excellent every way. So it's 4 staff that make up the TD department.
What way are the classes organised for TD?
All first and second years have 3 periods of TD, and sometimes one of the second year classes would have 4 periods of TD, normally split up into a 2 and a 2. Third year changes slightly because there's a lot more pressure to cover a greater range of subjects, so the timetable is split up into 3 periods 1 week and 1 period the second week. Now that sounds a bit strange. It used to be a 2 and a 2, but we have to link in with home economics, and they need the longer block for covering cooking, so we have to link in with them. So it's a 3 and a 1 in third year.
Thank you, Mr. Preach.
Is that it?
Now we're going to resume the video we were watching earlier.
Big smiles. Who's designer braces?
My great-grandfather included, so we would have scattered their ashes and stuff over here, and people that would come and stay here as in holiday homes that have passed away, we would sort of be along the back wall there and what have you. You know, as you can see, all the old Islanders' gravestones have been here for some time.
Because they spent their whole life here. They spent their whole life here, so they want to get buried here. Yeah, it's just where they...
Do you want to get buried here?
They were the happiest. Yeah. Our great-granny and granda, they spent their last 20, 30 years of their life on the island, and it's where they were happy. And
this is Chapel Bay, and the chapel is over here. This used to be an old chapel until it was, made into someone's home. Down here on the beach is where we have our bonfire, the 13th of July every year. And it's just, you can have a really beautiful view of the coast and the Warren Road, Donaghadee.
The Arctic terns come over every year, and we've got the biggest colony in Britain. They normally sit over here and then over on the Cairn Point. My uncle, a couple of years ago, when me and Rebecca were younger, was walking along the landing stage, and you normally have to wave your hand just to say that you're not coming to attack them, and he didn't, and got his head packed and blood everywhere. So it was really funny. It was really funny.
Up to the post office and then up into the old schoolhouse.
Okay.
You see the remains of the old schoolhouse.
Rabbits
big
and
warren there.
Get like pheasants and, well, these are the tracks that were made by quads, and it used to be just a sheep track. And like.
And when do you go on the quads?
Well, we go on the quads nearly every weekend we're over, and sometimes we have little races and stuff.
Cool. And just put it in there?
Yeah, because a postman used to come over on the boat and put everybody's post in the post box, and then maybe every morning or every day the Islanders used to come up to the post office and collect the post.
Cool. Will somebody steal the post?
Pardon?
Somebody has to steal it if it's just like that? Well, obviously it had a big thing on it, like.
Yeah, it's obviously, really wore away now, but there used to be like a big clasp.
Be careful coming through here, guys, okay?
There's a bit of glass and stuff. It used to be in a classroom. It's part of the old school. Oh, that's a big plant.
Like a watch. James, look at that.
My boyfriend's, I'm not sure.
Fancy coming to school over here?
No.
Oh yes,
No?
that would be quite fun.
That's where the old Islanders used to hook their horse on, and the horse would have walked around. And they used this here for grinding whatever they were producing at the time.
Yeah.
This is the last remaining area of ploughed stuff. It's really fun to go over on the quad because you go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Can you imagine walking up and down there for hours on end behind a horse and a plough by hand?
It's actually really fun.
Turfing the land up.
Turning the soil over? Hard work, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, let's go.
This is the March Wall. It's used to divide the island in half. Well, it was. It's not no longer. It was between two families called the Emersons and the Cleggs. I think the Cleggs had this side and the Emersons had that side. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the two families didn't particularly get on that well, and they just decided we'll build a wall and split it in half and just keep it like that.
Well, it was to keep their animals separated from each other.
Yeah. For me, this is the most beautiful part of the island because the beach is so sandy, there's no seaweed, and you can go down there if it's like, there's a couple of places where you can shelter if it rains, and it's good shelter from the wind, and it's just a really nice part of the island, and for me it's beautiful.
Obviously in those days it's been driven by coal, so the coal had to be delivered. So underneath, at the land stage, underneath the grass, you can still see the old quarry, the old coal dust and all sitting where the guys used to have to carry the coal the whole way up that hill to get into the furnace to keep the light lit.
Storm.
You know, that used to be monks on that end as well.
Oh, monks, yeah. There's island with monks, yeah. Down here is Port Raman, where we have 2 seal colonies. One is at the opposite side of the island on the current point, and one is down here. And if you're down on the beach and you're kayaking or you're swimming, sometimes the seals will come up really close to you. If you make, you know, sudden movements or something, they'll dive under and swim away back around onto the rocks.
Katie. And I'm Megan. And we're going to present Lurgan Junior High School TV for the next half hour. First of all, we're going to speak to Mrs. Mann. Miss Mann, why is it important to learn French as a language?
Learning French as a language, as in any other language like Spanish, German, Portuguese, is very important because it gives you greater opportunities in the world of work. It takes you, lots of companies, especially maybe in industry, engineering companies, car companies who have factories abroad, companies abroad would require people with other languages, and it just opens the world up to people in a greater way than if you don't have a language. And in the present economic climate, where jobs are the jobs are few and far, there are not many to choose from. You have a greater opportunity maybe to get a job, and lots of companies will be looking for people with languages and will employ people with a language before somebody who doesn't have one, because they can open up the world for that company as well. So French and other languages are very important.
Okay. Thank you. What can your pupils expect from your French or Spanish lessons?
Well, I think any of the teachers in this school, we're all very passionate about our languages and love teaching them. And I think when you have a teacher who loves their language, loves their subject, that helps the pupils to enjoy it too. And we would enjoy teaching. We would use lots of different things. In Year 8 you would learn basic conversation and basic conversation. We sing, we learn different topics, and through those topics we sing, we can do drama. We would try and make the lessons authentic at times, and maybe if we're doing subjects about food, we would do food, have maybe a French breakfast in class. When we're doing subjects maybe about family, we would maybe dress up and do role play, and we have actually used the studio whenever we're teaching our lessons, and pupils have the opportunity to come down here and video themselves, and they really enjoy that. So there are plenty of opportunities. We also have a French assistant and a German assistant whenever they go, or Spanish assistant in Year 9, but it's a great opportunity for the pupils to get to meet real French people, and it sort of brings the language more to life for the pupils and helps them to see that there is an advantage to learning another language.
Thank you very much, Miss Mann. Now we're going to resume the video we were watching previously.
This is the house. It hasn't really been used that much this year.
Yeah, it's not that.
A couple of times really, you know. This is what they say. This is where they say that the Talamen are buried, you know. That's sort of folklore, you know, which is, whether you believe it or not, I don't know. But
this is the bungalow that was floated over from the mainland and floated around and brung up onto the beach, put up onto the rocks, and that underneath there would be where the Talamen are. The Talamen are like there would have been men years ago that would have waved their wee lanterns and brung the ships in towards the island because they thought, you know, it was a port or whatever, and the ships used to crash in, and the Italian men would used to, you know, go onto the ships and take all their stuff and, you know, kill the men and bury them away.
Here we go around and gather up all the plastic bottles and stuff like that. The girls walk around with bags, and we usually get about 4 or 5 sacks, you know, and then we'll just burn it all away, you know. An unbelievable amount of plastic goes into the water.
And now we have Miss Bloomer from the Arts Department with us. Miss Bloomer, what topics do Year 8s complete in art?
This year, Year 8s are completing 3 different topics. Okay, first of all, they're doing observational pencil study. So they'll be looking at 3D form and how to create 3D form by using shading, so working from dark, medium to light. They'd also be looking at shading techniques such as cross-hatching. They then move on from their colour work to their sketchbook designs, and this brings in graphic design work where they would be looking at typography and various graphic design artists. They would be creating their name in different images to spell out their name and their class, okay? And we really try to get pupils to think outside the box, to really think creatively. So it's all about ideas and problem solving. And then they create a sketchbook cover, which they also use coloring pencils for. The new topic that they're working on at the moment is portraits, and this is very exciting because they learn how to draw self-portraits whilst also studying artists such as Vincent van Gogh. And then they will move on to some clay work, and they'll get to create portraits from clay.
Cool. What career path does art open up?
There are many exciting career paths for art and design students. Well, first of all, we have, you could go to art college and then go on and do the PGCE to be an art teacher. There's also lots of new technology which requires art careers like web designer, animator, photographer as well, graphic designer, so lots of different opportunities.
Great. Now we're going to resume the video again.
There's the highest point of the island. See it? It's the highest point of the whole Copeland.
And every time you go up, you bring a stone?
Every time you come up, you bring a stone so it gets higher every time you go.
That Ronnie brought over last time.
Yeah. You know that stuff there, boy? Everything you see here, all that wood, all driftwood. It's like a hull with a rubber tube in it.
Now we're going to speak to Matthew and Hannah, 2 house captains for Gosford. So Hannah, what are your responsibilities as a house captain?
It's to prepare your house teams for the house competitions and organise teams
for the house events and that school offers.
Matthew, what house competitions are there?
Well, for the boys, there is house football, house rugby, and sometimes house cricket, but also house volleyball. And for the girls, there's house hockey, house rounders, and house netball. And for the inter-house, there is the swimming gala and sports day.
Okay, thank you. Hannah, what happens in the house competitions?
There are teams for each of the 4 houses, and they compete against each other in order to achieve house points, and the house with the most points at the end of the year wins the house cup.
Thank you very much. We will now watch a short video.
What, you don't fall asleep in that chair? Everybody sits in that chair.
Yes.
Why? Sometimes. No Xbox. Boring, you would have nothing to do, probably.
You make your own entertainment over here. You can go kayaking, swimming, jumping off the landing stage, walks. You should just go find something to do.
Staying for like a week, you just wouldn't like it. I think it'll be fun because you can do whatever you want really here. I think it'll get boring after a while.
You football out in that big field out there.
Oh, that'd be so good.
And at night, you just light the candles, light the fire, and you sit with the little card table and you play games. I love finding a nice spot round the back and read my book, or around at the hammock and the swings and stuff. Guys, we're going now! Oh, boy.
See the way she always brags about. Now
we're going to talk to Mrs. Dugan, a girls' PE teacher.
We've got interviewed.
So, Mrs. Dugan, what does the Lurgan Junior High PE
You're in your uniform and I'm in his.
I know.
Hello, Megan.
Well, we offer all aspects of the Peace 3 curriculum in the PE department, and we're always very keen to have our Year 8 students in, and Mrs. Quinn, the head of department, and myself always get excited every September because we know there's going to be loads of great girls coming in and loads of talents, and we're always looking out for talented girls. So when they come in, first of all, we'll be doing swimming. They do a session of 5 weeks at Brownlow Pool, and then of course we offer our games, which is netball and also hockey. And of course with hockey we can use the new wonderful new facilities outside with our lovely new 3G pitch, and the girls all can't wait to get down there. Then after Halloween we would do a little bit of cross country, and that will be leading into competitions in January and February. And then we'll be going to do some dance and gymnastics, and we have had some outside help from Pamela Castles, who works for Craigavon Council. She's come in and done hip hop with the classes, which the girls really love. And in the summer term then we do athletics, and involving all the athletic activities, and there's tennis, and also a great favourite from Lurgan Junior High every year, which is rounders. So all those activities keeps Mrs. Quinn and myself very busy all term, all year, and developing all the girls' skills and hoping that they will enjoy their PE.
What extracurricular activities are available within the PE department at Lurgan Junior High?
Well, I hope I can remember all the ones I'm going to tell you, because there is a wide range of activities offered to all year 8s and also all 3 years after school. Hockey is a big speciality in Lurgan Junior High, and people in the community all know how strong Lurgan is as a hockey area with a strong town team, and we have under 12 teams, under 13A, under 13B and under 14 teams, and those teams will be coached by Mrs. Quinn, and they will have opportunities to play in local leagues and of course in Northern Ireland Cup competitions. And we have successfully over the years done very well in that competition, winning it several times. Netball is offered for year 8s as well, and year 9 and 10s. They take part in the local Vista League. And this year our minor team took part in the Northern Ireland Cup and the Northern Ireland Plate competition, because they were a stronger team. And also football is very popular. There are lots of daddies out there who play football, and girls come in very keen to do a little bit of football, and we normally have coaches come in to take the girls for football after school, and there's local tournaments to play in as well. And it is lovely to have Aaron Nelson coming back again in a few weeks. He'll be coming in to take 6 weeks of coaching and also to have run a tournament. And the cross country runs into and athletics in the summer season runs into district competition, so we can travel to Antrim Forum for competition there, and we will be also running in Lurgan Park for our cross country. Tennis coaching is available, volleyball coaching is available in year 10 with coaching and an after school club. And last year we were able to attend a local SELB volleyball competition, and also we did beach volleyball up in Port Stewart East Strand. So there's loads of opportunities there. And just before I finish with a very exciting new venture, we have had girls rugby this term, which has been excellent for our year 10s, and they've been enjoying being coached by an Ulster rugby coach who's come in to take us in class developing rugby in the area, and hopefully then to start up a club and to get the girls to go to the local town club. So a big programme.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Deacon. We're going to watch a Blue Peter video now.
And it's a school that I would have absolutely loved to go to. Hi, you're watching Blue Peter, and today's production is brought to you by these guys. Yep, you've guessed it, these lucky pupils have a fully functioning TV studio at their school. But it's not just for fun. They broadcast their very own show to the school and on the web. Now this is where I feel at home, because this is the presenter's chair. Hello, presenters.
Hello.
Let's talk. So, you have a TV studio in your school?
Yep, this is it. This is where all the action happens.
Okay, now the backdrop, of course, this is a bit of technical wizardry, isn't it, known as a blue screen. So you can project any image you like on the back of that screen, and you can be sat in this chair.
Anything you have, snow, anything you want.
I'm going to leave you to it, because I'm aware you've got very little time, so I'll shoot and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Bye. So, the clip comes in after that. Yeah.
So the presenters do the talking during the show, but just like any other TV production, there's lots going on behind the scenes too. Peter, you're the director, and this is your control centre. Tell us about it.
Well, we have people doing the auto cue there, which shows what the presenters see in their script, and then we have my desk, which can bring in video from across the world.
So you can stream video as part of your show, you can have video calls on. Amazing.
And then we have the sound desk as well. But Barney, if you don't mind, I've got quite a bit of work to do, so...
Sure, yeah, absolutely, yes, you're the boss.
Going live in 3, 2, 1, action.
Hello. We are now joined with Charlotte Lyons, our head girl.
So Charlotte, how have you enjoyed your 3 years at Lurgan Junior High?
I have absolutely loved the 3 years of Lurgan Junior High. I've loved everything from the sport and playing hockey to the teachers, to the lessons, to absolutely everything. I just love the school so much, so I don't want to leave.
What opportunities have you had in this school?
I've had loads of opportunities. I've had the opportunity to be head girl. I've had the opportunity to be house captain, hockey captain. I've been hockey captain for all 3 years. I've went to London with the school, as both of you used to have well, and you'll know we had an amazing time in London. It was some amazing memories, and also on Sunday I will be at school at 4 a.m. in the morning to go to Andorra skiing, which I'm really, really excited about.
As head girl, what type of responsibilities have you had?
Responsibilities as head girl. Whenever year 8s come in, there's a lot that would maybe need just a little bit more help to settle in, and as prefects and head boy and head girl and all the deputies, we help the year 8s with that. We are kind of like brothers and sisters to them. Also, just any general messages that teachers want you to do. If they see you in the corridor, they'd stop you and tell you to do them. And yeah, it's like, I like being head girl, it's quite fun. Get out of class a lot as well.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Not a problem. There you go.
We are now going to show another video.
Even celebrities and politicians have appeared on this school's TV channel. They can do a live broadcast to the whole school. And on today's show, they've got a very special guest.
Right, Barney, we're ready for you.
Okay, it's me.
Hello everyone, I'm joined with a very special guest today. We have Blue Peter's own Barney. If you had to pick one highlight from Blue Peter, what would it be?
Living in a cave, and I had to survive. That was an amazing challenge. Can I stay here, please? I love this.
That's all we've got time for. Join us next time.
Can I get in this shot?
Bye.
Bye. That was so much fun. Another day in studio. This time it was in a school studio. You want one, don't you?
So there you have it, whether it's training up firefighters, feeding the homeless, or even running a TV station.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say there are some amazing schools across the UK.
Look at this one.
Now we're going to talk to two girls who recently came into first year.
Hello. When you first came into Lurgan Junior High, how did you settle in?
Well, I found it really hard to make friends, but then I made a lot of friends in the end.
That's good.
Well, we got introduced to my class, and it was really interesting because I got to know everybody and started making loads of friends.
Are either of you involved in any extracurricular activities inside or outside of school?
I was in the art club and I'm in the netball team.
Yeah, I'm in a netball team as well, which is really fun.
Have you enjoyed your year so far?
Yes, I've enjoyed it a lot.
And yes, the teachers are really nice there, and if you have a problem you can go and talk to them.
What's your favourite subject in the school?
I would say my favourite subject in school is art and maths.
Why would that be?
Because whenever I grow up I really want to be an architect.
Why?
And mine is maths because I feel like I'm really good at it and my teacher is really nice.
Thank you very much.
We're now going to watch another video.
Take off your mics. Take off your mic.
And welcome to Lurgan Junior High tonight. I want to introduce you to some of the people who contribute to the family atmosphere in our school. Let's go and see them.
First of all, I would like to ask how your child settled into Year 8. Perhaps Mrs. Irwin, this is one for you, as Ethan started the school only last year.
Well, first of all, Ethan really enjoyed staying around the school.
Hello, we now have Miss Gilbert with us from the drama department. So, Miss Gilbert, what would Year 8 expect to do in drama in first year?
Well, the most important thing that we always say to everybody in Year 8 is that we come into drama to have a lot of fun. And I actually say that it is serious fun. Because some people think they come to drama and they're just going to mess about all the time. But we don't mess about, but we have lots and lots of fun. So we do games for nearly all the first term, which hopefully is going on down in my room at the moment without me. I'm hoping the games are going on. And I think that helps everybody get used to drama and just, it sort of makes them feel settled in so they're not scared that they'll come in and have to do a lot of acting.
Well, we had a preview of the Annie production this evening. Could you tell us more about the play?
Well, hopefully it should all be cast in about the next week. As you probably saw, there was a lot of it already cast. No boys on stage tonight, you may have noticed, but we have got a lot of boys actually. Quite a lot of talent. Basically, the play will be going on in June, so we hope that all the parents will be coming to see it. And as you can see, we've got a super amount of talent, including 2 ladies here, who hopefully might be in the play as well if they've got all their exams over. Right throughout the school, we had 178 people audition for the play, which was incredible. So expect great things. We also have Pamela Castles, who works down in the town, and she's coming to help us do the dance and do some of the drama, so that's great as well. We've got a bit of local talent helping out too. I think you saw tonight that the girls are fantastic.
We also had a London trip last year. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, the London trip was brilliant. What do you think?
It was really good.
What was your favourite part?
Probably the London Dungeons.
Yes, the London Dungeons are very scary. We run the London trip every couple of years. So everybody who is in Year 9 or Year 8 at the moment should get a chance to go next year. And we go to a couple of theatre shows. We went to see Wicked and Lion King, and I think I enjoyed Wicked the best. Actually, we had a trip to Wicked last week, which we had over 100 pupils going down to Dublin to see it. So that's one of the things that we think is really important, that we have quite a lot of theatre trips from the school as well. London trip, 5 days in London. What could be better?
Thank you very much. We are now going to watch another short video.
Okay, get those girly.
Yeah, right, short. It's like 8 minutes.
10 minutes actually.
Okay. Okay.
Say whatever name is, put out your pocket. No, actually,
But I have to say that the staff worked very hard in making sure that Ethan was happy, which he is now. And I can honestly say that Ethan loves his class, he loves his form teacher, he loves his subjects, and he loves all his teachers.
What about you, Mum? What do you think the advantages of a Key Stage 3 only school are?
First of all, I think the first main advantage is such a smooth transition moving up to big school. When you were in Year 8, there was only 3-year groups, so there's only 2 years that are bigger than you, and there's no big pressure of exam beforehand coming to school, so it's a very straightforward move. I think secondly, there's such a close rapport between the teachers and the children in this school. Your same form teacher follows you right throughout the 3 years, and there's all the teachers there are really focused on teaching just those 3 years without the pressure of teaching children who are going through the very big exams at the top of the school in an age 11 to 18 school. So that's certainly, they know you so well by the end of those 3 years, and I think that's fantastic having those teachers just throughout those 3 years. And thirdly, I noticed a real development in you. I see just how many opportunities you have had as you grow in confidence, and there's so many opportunities you get in terms of leadership and sports and so many different areas that all the kids in your school have the chance to do, which they might not have to the same extent in a school that caters for kids from 11 to 18. So those are the 3 main things I can see.
Mrs. Carney, what do you think about Nathan's progress, the opportunities he has had and his interests?
Well, Nathan has settled in really well from he come to the junior high, and although he was quite sociable before he come, he has been able to continue that with the opportunities being after school clubs, sport. He's very into sport and has enjoyed that and continued to enjoy a variety of sports. He has enjoyed his drama, he's enjoyed music, and hopefully he'll continue. He's settled in well with his class and his peers and enjoys the junior high very much.
We managed to record our 3 interviewees chatting about what makes our school special.
I know that my child would be happy to go and speak to any of the members of staff if he had a problem, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think over the 3 years they just become really close as well, with their teachers and with their class too, and it's a real kind of family atmosphere.
The Board of Governors are obviously very important in our school, so I spoke to Mrs. Cardwell, who represents us there. Mrs. Cardwell, perhaps you could tell everyone what your role is and how you feel it benefits the school.
Well, Katie, my role within the school family is as a Board of Governor. I've served as a Board of Governor as a parent representative for 8 years now, and have been very privileged to do so. It's been a real honour to do that, to be trusted with that responsibility, which is a big responsibility. Within the Board of Governors, I probably see myself as someone very interested in pastoral care within the school. That would really be the main thing that I try to focus on, pastoral care of the pupils and how they're being cared for, and pastoral care also of the staff throughout the school, from canteen staff, road crossing individuals, caretakers, right up through to the principal and the vice principals of the school.
There is no doubt that everyone is valued in our school community and everybody's opinion is respected. With that in mind, I'm going to put the newest teacher in our school on the spot.
So, Mr. Logan, as our newest teacher, what are your first impressions of the school?
Well, as I say, I've been here for a full term now, but I have to say, my first day all summer, I really was, really worried and apprehensive about it. But very, very quickly, from the very first minute I came in the door, I met Mr. Johnson. I knew it was really, really friendly school, very welcoming. Everybody has always taken time to make sure everything's okay, make sure I have everything I need and have no real stresses or no real worries. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed the school. Every day brings something different. Some days in the classroom, some days outside, helping out with rugby and whatnot. But as I say, every day so far, it's been so good. I really, really enjoyed it.
Mr. McDowell is in charge of the transition from primary school to Lurgan Junior High. I wonder what's involved. How do you help pupils as they move up to the junior high?
Okay, well what we try to do in junior high school is in May and June.
I'm going to go live first.
Hello, I'm here with Kelly Kirk and Cassandra Price to do with the murder. What did you think of Miss Pratchett?
Miss Pratchett was firm, but she was strict too. She enjoyed writing novels and thought she was going to have a book out one day of another world, like a fantasy book.
And what did you think of Miss Pratchett?
Well, I live with her, and she's got really strict rules in the house, never mind the classroom. She kind of keeps herself to herself though. She doesn't really talk to me. Don't like her all that much, to be honest.
Oh dear, when did you last see Miss Pratchett?
I seen her in the local bookshop a few days ago.
And when did you last see Miss Pratchett?
Well, it was at home, before the reunion. She was extremely cross after reading the novel reviews in the newspaper. Don't know what upset her.
And where were you at the time of the murder?
Well, I was just walking in through the doors to attend the reunion when I heard like a scream, and I thought it sounded very like her, but I was wondering who would be out to get her.
And what about you? Where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in my classroom trying to sort out some last minute paperwork for the reunion.
And who do you think did this murder?
Well, I think it was the cleaner, because she had, well, I'm hearing that her cloth, her handkerchief, was on beside Mrs. Pratchett.
So Cassidy Price thinks it's the cleaner. Who do you think it is?
Well, I think it could be the new novelist. I think his name's Brian. they found his new book right beside her.
Oh dear, well thank you for coming in to be interviewed. Now back to a short video.
When they're leaving P7, as we would visit the primary schools and we would get to know a little bit about them before they come to the junior high school. And then what we do is with evenings like tonight is we let the pupils showcase what they can do. Something else that we would do when they come to the school in August, at the end of August and September, is they have two days of school to themselves where they get to meet their new form teacher, and they get to meet their new teachers, and they get shown around the school by our prefects. So we usually find that works very well when they've got the school to themselves for 2 days, and if anyone is nervous or anyone has questions to ask, that they can ask their form teachers or Mrs. Curry or Mrs. Kerr or Mr. Thompson, who will be with us. So I hope you all have a good evening and enjoy yourselves.
You can see our staff are genuinely committed to our pupils, and I'm not just talking about the teaching staff. I'm also talking about the non-teaching staff. Come with me to the canteen to find Mrs. Gordon and see the pupils having a great time. This is when we socialise and have a chat. We can listen to our iPods, play games on our phones, or catch up with our friends.
I'm joined here now by Cook Betty and Cook Joan. So Cook Betty, what did you think of Miss Pratchett?
Well, I heard she was a bit scary. Joan here was telling me of her strict teaching methods. You know, I heard she kept a cane under her desk for the really bad children.
Oh dear, and what about you? What did you think of Miss Pratchett?
Well, I'd often give her cakes to sweeten her up. Sometimes she'd be very grumpy, so she would. And she often taught my children as well.
Well, that's very kind, giving her buns and cakes. So, when did you last see Miss Pratchett?
Well, I last saw her when I was serving the drinks at the reunion.
And when did you last see Miss Pratchett?
Well, I just nipped off to the toilet before I got too busy.
And where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in the staff room serving drinks, getting ready, and that's when I heard the scream.
And what about you?
Well, whenever I was in the toilets, I heard a scream, so I did.
And finally, who do you think did this murder? Who could have done it?
Well, I think it could be Brian, because he seemed to be quite jealous of Miss Pratchett, and his book was found next to her.
And who did you think did the murder?
I think it was Al, because he always said that he didn't like her and she was always mean to him.
Oh dear. Well, everyone seems to have mixed views about who done the murder. Now to go back to another video. Go. Thank you.
Today?
Oh, not too bad. They've all had their lunch, let off a bit of steam. I'm sure we're all one big happy family.
Mrs. Black has been a classroom assistant for many years and has also had a child who has moved through the school. She also helps people who speak English as a second language.
What message would you like to leave with our parents who want to send their children to the school?
I would really like to encourage parents and children coming to look round tonight to not only look at the academic side of school, but also our pastoral care that we offer all children who come through our doors. There's nothing better than seeing a child develop personally, and whether it's an academic or a vocational approach, we like to see all children being included to the best of their natural abilities.
My very final port of call is the front office. On many occasions, Mrs. Blakeney has helped out the anxious child, even me, and dare I say it, the stressed out parent.
Mrs. Blakeney, could you explain to us what your role is in the school?
Right, Katie. Well, my name is Miss Blakeney, as you know, and I have worked in the front office for 13 years now. And as well as my administrative duties here in the office, I would be the first contact that any visitor or parent would come to the school. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I deal with it all myself. We work together as a good team but I would be the first one that they would bring their query to me, and I would normally direct it to the most relevant person, either the principal or PE staff or whatever the query was. So I do like that part of my job as well, and I do feel...
I'm joined here now with the receptionist, Miss Goodley, and Principal, Mr. Sherling. So firstly, Mr. Sherling, what did you think of Miss Pratchett?
Well, I thought Miss Pratchett was a hard-working teacher, but I had a few complaints about her punishments to the pupils.
Oh dear, well that doesn't sound good. What did you think of Miss Pratchett?
Well, she often made me nervous, but she was a hard worker and she always gave me the hardest jobs, which wasn't the funnest thing to do when you're not meant to be doing them.
And when did you last see Miss Pratchett?
Well, I was going out at 7:15 to get some drinks for the reunion, and then I heard the scream.
Oh dear, and what about you? When did you last see Miss Pratchett?
I last saw Miss Pratchett in her room reading a book.
And where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in my office organising stuff for the open night, and then Miss Goodley came in and informed me about what had happened.
Oh, so you were both at the same place then? Who did you think did the murder?
I thought it was Al, because he really didn't like Miss Pratchett.
And what about you? Who do you think done the murder?
I think it was the same, because he really, really hated her, and I just think it was a wee bit harsh, the words he thought of her.
Okay, thank you for coming down. Now for another video.
This next piece is top secret. I can't reveal to you where we are, but what you're about to see is truly amazing. We're going to see badgers being hand-fed. Let's come and see them. Here's our first sighting of the badgers. It has taken this gentleman years to win the confidence of these animals. He feeds them every evening.
Katie and I are now joined by Mr. Jack Parks, the caretaker, and Polly Mershire. So, what did you think of Miss Pratchett, Jack?
Well, she liked to be a very tidy woman. She always had me and Mrs. Mercer in cleaning and fixing things for her.
And Molly, what did you think of her?
She always was, her desk was very messy, but otherwise she was a very neat lady.
And Mr. Parks, when did you last see Miss Pratchett?
The last time I saw Miss Pratchett, I was outside gridding the playground, and I saw her in her classroom very angry with Brian Reid.
And Molly, when did you last see her?
I was down cleaning her room yesterday. That was the last time I saw her, when she was at her desk marking books.
And do you know where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in my store trying to find my mop when I heard the scream, and I ran into the English room and found her body on the floor.
Oh dear, it sounds awful.
And when did you last see, or where were you whenever she was murdered?
I was in the foyer getting ready for the big reunion, and then I heard Mr. Parks screaming that he had saw a body in the English room.
Horrible.
And who do you think did this horrific murder?
Well, it could be anyone really. A lot of people have said they've really hated Mrs. Pratchett, and others have said they really liked Mrs. Pratchett, so I don't really know.
And who do you think committed this horrible crime?
I honestly don't know. There's been a lot of people think that she's not nice, and a lot of people think she is, so I don't know for sure.
Thank you.
Now it's time for another video.
I'm sure you will agree, these are fantastic pictures. I can't believe what I've just seen, and I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did.
Now I'm joined by Al Black, a past pupil, and Brian Reid, a novelist.
What do you think of Mrs. Pratchett?
She was a very tough teacher, and she always had the notes to write a novel. So she did.
And what did you think of Miss Pratchett?
I didn't like Miss Pratchett. I thought she gives far too much homework.
And when did you last see her?
I last saw her at 6:50 with fighting with Brian.
And when did you last see her?
After just before I left to go get a drink with Al at 7.
And where were you whenever she was killed?
I was just getting a drink.
And what about you, Al? Where were you at the time of the murder?
I was outside getting fresh air when Miss Pratchett was murdered.
And who do you think did this horrific murder?
I think it was Mr. Reid.
And what about you? Who do you think?
I think it was Miss Goodley.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we can continue our video.
I know I'm gonna.
And I'm Ellen.
And tonight we will be interviewing
Mrs. Osborne,
Mrs. Carson, Mr. Logan, and Eileen Ford. Hello, Mrs. Carson. How are you tonight?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Mrs. Carson, what can Year 8 students be expecting to do in science?
Well, in Year 8, we look particularly at living things. So they'll investigate the vertebrates and invertebrates, and look then at mammals in particular and how animals are adapted. And then we'll go on and look at atoms and molecules in our building blocks topic. And we will also then be looking under the microscope at cells.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
What do you expect in a student?
Well, I expect a student to be curious about life around them and about what things are made of and how materials behave. And as long as they're interested and want to find out more, they'll do very well in their science.
What skills will Lurgan Junior High School students develop in science?
Well, in science we would develop skills of investigation and experimental skills, practical skills, and how to take measurements and record and present results, and obviously then writing skills as well. But all those skills together are all equally as important.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Mrs. Carson.
Not at all.
Now we will have our next video.
LJHS TV.
Now we will be interviewing Eileen. Hello Eileen, how are you tonight?
I'm very well, Courtney. I have enjoyed my night seeing Ryan Lurgan Junior High.
That's good. I'm going to ask you some questions. Will that be alright?
That's absolutely fine.
What would you like to see your child achieve in Lurgan Junior High School?
Well, obviously as a parent I would like Kirsten to achieve academically while she's here, but more importantly I would like her to have a happy time in her 3 years at Lurgan Junior High, for it to be a positive experience for her and for her to meet lots of new friends, to engage with the teachers and to participate in all of the school clubs. Life is a learning curve and I would like Kirsten to experience all of these things and learn as much as she can during her time at the junior high.
What kind of teachers do you expect to be teaching Kirsten?
Well-educated teachers, teachers who are pleasant, teachers who have excellent communication skills and can really, I suppose maybe their greatest gift would be that of encouragement, to encourage Kirsten as well as her classmates to do really well and to do their very best, both for themselves, for their families and friends and for the school.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Eileen, and we've had a pleasure interviewing you. Next will be there will be a next video now.
The last incredible school on our list is in County Armagh, Northern Ireland, and it's a school that I would have absolutely loved to go to.
Hi, you're watching Blue Peter, and today's production is brought to you by these guys.
Yep, you've guessed it, these lucky pupils have a fully functioning TV studio at their school. But it's not just for fun. They broadcast their very own show to the school and on the web.
Now this is where I feel at home, because this is the presenter's chair. Hello, presenters.
Hello.
Let's talk. So, you have a TV studio in your school?
Yep, this is it. This is where all the action happens.
Okay, now the backdrop, of course, this is a bit of technical wizardry, isn't it, known as a blue screen. So you can project any image you like on the back of that screen and you can be sat on this chair.
Anything you have, snow, anything you want.
I'm going to leave you to it, because I'm aware you've got very little time, so I'll shoot and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Bye. So, the clip comes in after that. Yeah.
So the presenters do the talking during the show, but just like any other TV production, there's lots going on behind the scenes too.
Sheeta, you're the director, and this is your control centre. Tell us about it.
Well, we have people doing the auto cue there, which shows what the presenters see in their script, and then we have my desk, which can bring in video from across the world.
So you can stream video as part of your show. You can have video calls. Amazing.
And then we have the sound desk as well. But Barney, if you don't mind, I've got quite a bit of work to do. So.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you're the boss.
Going live in.
Hello, and welcome back to Lurgan Junior High School TV studio.
Welcome, Kirsten. So, what do you like most about Lurgan Junior High School so far?
Well, I like the way you have to move around different classes and see different teachers and do different subjects every day.
So, what department interests you most and why?
Well, I like drama because I'm a bit of a drama queen, and I like art and I like English as well.
Why drama?
I don't really know, because drama always really has interested me, and I like being part of a group.
What after school activities will you be taking part in Lurgan Junior High School?
Well, I would like to come to the TV studio sometimes, and I like netball as well.
So do you think you'd be in the gallery or presenting like here?
Probably presenting.
Yeah. So did you take part in any after school activities in your old school?
Yeah, I took part in choir and art.
Very musical and creative. Thank you, Kirsten.
People when they leave our school that they are well equipped for life and that they have good skills in financial management, whether that is how when they read their bank account they understand the difference in debit and credit, or if they look at their wage slip at the end of the month that they understand how their tax is calculated. No one wants to pay too much money to the tax man. Or if they're out shopping and they notice a sale on and there's a percentage discount, they can calculate it in their head to make sure they have enough money for it. There's loads of different ways throughout life, from age 11 when they start here right to their working out their pension, that they will need to have their financial management skills fine-tuned.
Very interesting. So here's a tricky one. What would your dream student be like?
Oh, that is a hard one. Your dream student. Sometimes I look around my classroom and think, oh, I've got some of those. But the main feature of a dream student would probably be one that is hardworking. Someone who doesn't mind the challenge in maths and who will try, even if they're a wee bit unsure, who will try their best no matter what.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Ms. Osborne.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Back to the video.
So Rebecca, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to the Copeland Islands.
Wait, where's the Copeland Islands?
I'll show you on the computer. Over here is Belfast, and if you come along, here's Bangor. And just if you go round the coast, you see Donaghadee, and then just a mile off Donaghadee, we'll have Copeland Islands.
So where's your house?
It's right here.
Oh, I'd like to go there.
Would you really like to go?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
We'll take you over.
watch out there just in case you come across any bones and stuff there. Every now and then the rabbits would dig them up, so you have to push them back down in again.
Oh, seriously?
Cover them over again, you know. But this is the only graveyard on the Couplands. So
there's about 30 people buried here.
And recent years, my great-grandfather included, so we would have scattered their ashes and stuff over here, and people that would come and stay here as in holiday homes that have passed away, we would sort of look along the back wall there and what have you. You know, as you can see, all the old Islanders' gravestones have been here for some time. You know.
Because they spent their whole life here. They spent their whole life here, so they want to get buried here. Yeah, it's just where they...
Do you want to get buried here?
They were the happiest. Yeah. Our great granny and granda, they spent their last 20, 30 years of their life on the island, and it's where they were happy. And this is Chapel Bay, and the chapel is over here. This used to be an old chapel until it was, made into someone's home. Down here on the beach is where we have our bonfire, the 13th of July every year. And it's just, you can have a really beautiful view of the coast and the Warren Road, Donaghadee. The Arctic terns come over every year, and we've got the biggest colony in Britain. They normally sit over here and then over on the...
Some breaking news just in, and the murderer has been caught. It was Joan the cook. We have her here to explain herself. Why on earth did you do it, Joan?
Well, my wonderful son Brian, I'm so proud of him because it's his first novel. He is so talented. That old witch was going to accuse him of stealing her ideas. She was even going to contact the newspaper. I couldn't let that happen. I whacked her over the head with this rolling pin, and I don't regret it.
So there you have it. Who would have thought? At least we can all sleep easy in our beds tonight, knowing Joan is behind bars. Now we're going to continue our video.
Heron Point. My uncle, a couple of years ago, when me and Rebecca were younger, was walking along the landing stage, and you normally have to wave your hand just to say that you're not coming to attack him, and he didn't, and got his head packed and blood everywhere. So it was really funny. It was really funny.
Up the post office and then up into the old schoolhouse.
Okay.
You see the remains of the old schoolhouse.
Rabbits
big
and
warren there.
Get like pheasants and these are the tracks that were made by quads, and it used to be just a sheep track. And like.
And when do you go on the quads?
Well, we go on the quads nearly every weekend we're over, and sometimes we have little races and stuff.
Cool. And just put it in there?
Yeah, because a postman used to come over on the boat and put everybody's post in the post box, and then maybe every morning or every day the Islanders used to come up to the post office and collect the post.
Cool. Was somebody steal the post?
Pardon?
Somebody steal it? It was just like
well,
that.
obviously it had a big thing on it, like. Yeah, it's obviously, really wore away now, but there used to be like a big clasp.
Welcome back to LJHS TV.
This will be the last interview of the night, and we hope you have enjoyed it. Hello, Mr. Logan, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm going to ask you some questions, is that okay?
Yep, no problem at all.
What career path could you take using geography?
Well, I think historically everybody thought, studying geography leads to be a geography teacher. But there's so much more. There's obviously the obvious ones, being cartographers, making maps, meteorologists, looking into the weather and the effects of the weather. But I think now with the whole thing of sustainability and looking after our planet much more, that geographical careers are becoming much more important, and there's more and more careers. One very important one that I'll mention, it's called GIS, it's Geographical Information Systems, and that's basically just using computers and ICT to make maps and other images using data, numbers and other things like that. So there are lots and lots of geography careers getting really big.
That's very interesting. What skills will Year 8 students learn or be using in geography this year?
I think in Year 8 Geography we start off with looking at different types of geography. Then we build strongly on our map skills, and we look to try and find your place in the world. You know, looking at Lurgan in the context of the UK, of Europe, and in a whole world context. We then look at building important skills, managing information, working in groups, and problem solving. So map skills is probably the main focus of Year 8 Geography.
Why would you say geography is an important subject?
Well, obviously I'm biased. Being a geography teacher, I have to be. But, you know, for me, geography is all around us. It's getting really big. As I say, sustainability and looking after the world is becoming a bigger topic year on year. So I think to be successful and to be successful as adults when you leave school, I think you have to understand the way the world works and the environments in the world, and you know, geography obviously is uniquely placed in helping you to do that.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Mr. Logan.
No
and thank you for everybody out there watching Lurgan Junior High School TV studio tonight. Goodbye. Bye.
Be careful coming through here, guys, okay?
There's a bit of glass and stuff. It used to be in a classroom. It's part of the old class. Oh, that's a big plant.
There you go, watch it. James, look at that.
Might be poisonous, I'm not sure.
Fancy coming to school over here?
No.
Oh yes,
No?
that would be quite fun.
That's where they the old islanders used to hook their horse on, and the horse would have walked around. And they used this here for grinding whatever they were producing at the time. You know?
Yeah. This is the last remaining area of ploughed stuff. It's really fun to go over on the quad because you go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Can you imagine walking up and down there for hours on end behind a horse and a plough by hand?
It's actually really fun.
You know?
Turfing the land up.
Turning the soil over?
That is
hard work, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, let's go.
This is the March Wall. It's used to divide the island in half. Well, it was. It's not no longer. It was between two families called the Emersons and the Cleggs. I think the Cleggs had this side and the Emersons had that side. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the two families didn't particularly get on that well, and they just decided we'll build a wall and split it in half and just keep it like that.
Well, was to keep their animals separated from each other?
Yeah. For me, this is the most beautiful part of the island because the beach is so sandy, there's no seaweed, and you can go down there if it's like, there's a couple of places where you can shelter if it rains, and it's good shelter from the wind, and it's just a really nice part of the island, and for me it's beautiful.
Obviously in those days it's been driven by coal, so the coal had to be delivered. So underneath, at the land stage, underneath the grass, you can still see the old quarry, the old coal dust and all sitting where the guys used to have to carry the coal the whole way up that hill to get it into the furnace to keep the light lit.
Storm.
You know, that used to be monks on that island as well.
Oh, monks, yeah. It was island with monks, yeah. Down here is Port Raman, where we have two seal colonies. One is at the opposite side of the island on the current point, and one is down here. And if you're down on the beach and you're kayaking or you're swimming, sometimes the seals will come up really close to you. If you make, sudden movements or something, they'll dive under and swim away back around onto the rocks.